Some of us steal money here, we go to Tanzania, we invest it there. Because when we invest it in Kenya, it will be more visible. You also bring money from Tanzania, some of it by road, na magari, mnapitia, mnakuja hapa Kenya, you start constructing buildings around here. That is what we do. So, if we are stealing 2 billion per day, assuming we reduce the theft, we don't want to stop it, we just say, okay, if you have been stealing 1,000, please steal only 500 shillings. If you have been stealing 100,000, steal 50,000. If there could be that, I don't know whether to call it conscious decision, but if there could be such a decision, ridiculous as it sounds, we would be saving 1 billion shilling per day, which would accumulate to 365 billion shillings. That is more than the external borrowing. You see, I'll give you the statistic for Kenya. The commitment from IMF for Kenya is 1.4 billion USD for the whole year. They released just 675 for us after the 7th and 8th review. We are waiting for the 9th review. A 9th review meaning another ritual like the one I've explained for us to succeed. So this 1.84 billion is what we are going there to ask for. Our revenue collection is at 14.5, that is the tax revenue. Experts have determined that we have the potential of even reaching 22% of GDP. But even if we just increase from 14.5% to 17%, which is additional 2.5%, I would be able to get 3.5 billion. I'm going to Washington for only 1.4, but this gentleman and the ladies here and gentlemen can give me 3.5 billion very easily. So I'll have change, and a lot of it. External borrowing for Kenya in this financial year is 2.7 billion. Domestic borrowing is 3.2 billion. Now, if you take external borrowing and we enhance our revenue collection, as I've said, you would cover all the external borrowings and you still have about 0.8 billion left USD. Domestic borrowing plus external borrowing is 5.9 billion for this financial year. Out of that, if we collect that 3.5 billion, we would only borrow 2.4 billion, which we can borrow domestically. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is if we get a few things done differently, if we get our domestic revenue mobilization right, then we don't have to stress ourselves going to look for money elsewhere. And I'm sure what is obtaining in Kenya is obtaining across the region. What we need to do is, one, to come up with policies to ensure that we broaden the tax base and all that the people who need to pay tax, pay tax. And then we have systems that can help us actualize the same. That would enhance tax visibility.